So this guy gets sentenced to federal prison for buying video games. Okay, it wasn't just video games. It was $250,000 worth of everything. And the card he's using to pay for it all, it belonged to his campaign. Because this guy is a sitting United States congressman. And this isn't just his story. It's the story of him and his wife, Margaret. They look like the perfect DC power couple, but behind the scenes, they are completely, totally broke. I'm talking their personal bank account is a wasteland. It's got less than $1 in it. They're constantly getting hit with overdraft fees. They're living in one of the most expensive areas in the country with 5 kids, a lifestyle to keep up, and 0 cash to do it. But then there's this other account, the campaign account, and it is flush with money, hundreds of thousands of dollars from donors. These donors think they're funding a political mission. For Duncan and Margaret, that account looks less like a sacred public trust and more like a magic credit card with no limit. And they are about to use it for the wildest spending spree you have ever heard of. It starts small. You know how it always does, just a little white lie. They take the campaign card and buy some Jack in the Box. Then it's movie tickets. They tell themselves they'll pay it back. It's just a temporary loan, right? Except they don't pay it back. And they do it again and again. Suddenly the line isn't just blurry, it's gone. That little door they opened becomes a floodgate. They realize nobody is really watching the account that closely. And their personal financial problems are getting worse. So they stop pretending it's a loan. They just start living on the campaign's money full time. This is where it gets insane. Forget the occasional fast food. We're talking about funding their entire existence. They need groceries, campaign card, kids need new school uniforms and dance costumes, campaign card. They go to the dentist, the gas station, the liquor store, swipe, swipe, swipe. It's their personal ATM, and the PIN number is pure fraud. Then they get bolder, much bolder. They decide they deserve a vacation, a real one, so they book a trip to Italy, a second anniversary trip. They spend over $10,000 on airfare, fancy hotels, and tourist traps, all paid for by the campaign. When someone asks questions later, Duncan just says he was touring naval bases in the area. A total lie. He wasn't working. He was living it up on someone else's dime. And the trips just keep coming. They fly the whole family to Hawaii for Thanksgiving. Thousands on a resort right on the beach. They go on a ski trip to Park City, Utah, dropping thousands more on lift tickets and rentals. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They're just a regular family taking luxury vacations, except the family paying for it is their pool of political donors. It becomes a daily habit. We're talking thousands upon thousands at Costco, hundreds at Target, little purchases everywhere, 32 separate times they use it at a gas station, 68 times at various restaurants. They are literally eating their campaign funds for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's a death by 1,000 cuts for their donors' bank accounts. And this is where the story takes a really dark turn. It's not just about family fun anymore. Duncan starts using the campaign card to fund his affairs. Plural. He's flying women across the country to see him, taking them out to expensive dinners, staying in plush hotels, buying them drinks. He's living this whole secret life, and the people funding his political career are unknowingly funding his infidelity. He's literally cheating on his wife and cheating the public at the exact same time, using the exact same credit card. The sheer disrespect is staggering. He's not just a con man. He's using the money to break every promise he's ever made, both public and private. But amidst all this serious federal crime-level fraud, we get to the most bizarre part of the story. The purchase that shows you how far gone they are. The family has a pet rabbit. Its name is Egbert. And they need to fly Egbert across the country. Now, you can't just put a rabbit in cargo. So Duncan drops $600 of campaign money on a plane ticket so Egbert can fly in the main cabin with the family. He's committing a felony for his bunny. And then comes the video games. Duncan gets obsessed with this game, Steam, and he starts racking up charges. $100 here, $50 there. It adds up to over $1,300 just for video games on his personal computer. This is the moment the house of cards starts to wobble. A bank employee sees the charge for Steam games on a congressional campaign account and flags it. It seems weird. They call up the campaign treasurer, and the cover-up begins. Duncan's excuse is just pathetic. He tells his treasurer his son must have used the wrong card, an innocent mistake. He says he'll pay it back. Then he tries to get the charge reversed by telling the game company it was a fraudulent purchase. But then to his campaign staff, he concocts an even bigger lie. He tries to get them to report the video game spending as a donation to a Wounded Warriors charity. He wants them to lie on a federal document. It's desperate and it's dumb. The feds are circling now. They see the video games, the Italy trip, the endless string of personal purchases. An investigation is officially launched, and Duncan and Margaret freak out. They start frantically trying to explain away $250,000 of fraud. Their excuses are almost comical. That Hawaii trip, they claim it was for a meeting with a military official, but they can't remember who. The thousands in groceries, oh, that was for meetings at their home. The kids' school tuition, a charitable contribution. They even describe a bachelor party trip as touring a naval facility. They are throwing lie after lie at the wall, hoping something will stick. But the evidence is overwhelming. The feds have the receipts, they have the travel records, they have everything. The pressure is immense, and this is where the partnership in crime completely shatters. Margaret cracks. She sees the writing on the wall. She knows they are going down. So she does the only thing she can think of to save herself. She cuts a deal with the prosecutors. She pleads guilty to conspiracy to misuse campaign funds. And the biggest part of her deal? She agrees to testify under oath against her own husband. She is going to tell the FBI everything. Every illegal purchase, every lie, every detail of the scheme they ran together. For Duncan, this is the end of the line. His wife, his partner in the con, has flipped on him. It's over. But he has one last desperate, sleazy move left. He goes on national television and publicly blames Margaret for the entire thing. He tells the world she handled the finances. He claims it was all her, that he was just an innocent, hard-working congressman who was betrayed by his own wife. He throws her under the bus in front of millions of people. It doesn't work. No one buys it. Faced with a mountain of receipts and his own wife's testimony waiting for him in court, he finally gives up. He walks into a federal courthouse and pleads guilty to a single count of conspiracy. He admits to it all. The vacations, the affairs, the lies, the video games, the rabbit. The resolution is swift and brutal. Margaret gets sentenced to 3 years of probation. And Duncan, he gets hit with 11 months in federal prison. The final image of this story isn't a power couple in Washington, D.C., It's the mugshot of a disgraced politician who traded his entire career, his reputation, and his freedom for a few years of living a fantasy. A fantasy funded by the very people he swore to serve. His full name is Duncan Hunter, and he wasn't just a con man. He was a United States congressman